Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for making the way here and spending the time. I'm really excited that we're going to be spending the entire day together and getting to know each other, which is awesome. Thank you so much for that. Because I think it's still, despite all the technologies and teams and everything we have, I think the personal touch is still the most important. And probably most of you know that in my first life, I worked as a psychologist. That for me, people are just like, I love people in general. And for me, even we are selling technical stuff, for me, the people are the heart of the company. The customers, of course, but they would be, I don't think so many customers, it wouldn't be for you guys. And that's kind of the idea as well of this day, that we're not just searching for solutions, which of course very important, but that we kind of get together and an appreciation and acknowledgement for you guys. Because I think for me that the customer are taken care of from you guys in their mother languages, it's just absolutely amazing. And I think that's what really makes the company going as well. And I don't know how the customer react to you, but the Swiss customer I'm taking care of, they love it, that I'm a human being, that I even speak Swiss German, so they just love it. So that's why I really thank you guys for being there and taking care of them. But what's for me important, I would like to start to take care a little bit more of you guys as well. Because I don't want to put too much psychology on you guys, but I think you understand and the state you are in, it's reflecting, of course, on the customers as well. So if you don't feel well, the customers feel it as well, and we want to feel them good, of course, so they like us and they buy. And what I would like to start a little bit, which I heard is already going to be happening, that you guys interact a little bit more on the phone. I mean, it's not about having a chatty because we don't, of course, have the time for it, but just to really sometimes, which we do with Patricia, just pick up the phone, and especially if you disagree or there's something, a conflict, then talk to each other, which goes mostly faster than just write and do and stuff. So you guys kind of really support each other. Because I think working in home office, it's a privilege, it's awesome, but sometimes it can get lonely, especially for me. And if there are conflicts and complaints from the customer, and then I have stress in the team as well, then it just could be too much. So that's why I would kind of like you to ask as well, take care of each other as well. I am here to listen as well. So please, I heard that you guys are going to start meetings, and we do meetings, and maybe Anthony, you reached out as well, and Marco and stuff, so that we know how we're doing, that we can exchange a little bit more. That would be important for me. That's something that I wanted to share. And I bought for everybody this, and it's a symbol of a lot of things. I mean, of course, Switzerland, that's where we're from. Then it is a mountain crystal, and they say that a mountain crystal only can be formed over time. Of course, there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of interaction needed. And that's why I think it's just the perfect symbol for us, because there has been a lot of pressure and a lot of changes, as always, probably going to continue with these two beautiful men. We always have a lot of challenges and changes, and that's why I think. And I'm really very grateful. I mean, for Jürg, his visions and his generosity, and for you just seeing all the little details that are not even in my universe, which is beautiful. But sometimes it just can every time I open the website, there's something different. I'm like, okay, what happened? Where is my button? Which I think sometimes it's just a so that's why I thought. Challenge. So that's why I thought maybe you guys can just take it, put it on your desk, and sometimes when you're a little bit overwhelmed, to think that there is a team behind it, and then we can always talk to each other, and that we are a team, which is awesome. So have fun. Thank you so much also for preparing all the presentation, Anthony, of course, and just everybody, some of you. And Daniel is going to be online with us in the afternoon. Marco unfortunately couldn't make it, but hi, Marco, Massimo. So, and what I wanted to say, we're gonna, of course, for the organization, we're gonna have a break after probably your presentation, I guess. And then for lunch, you guys come with me, there's like a buffet we can go to, or if you want to just like fresh air, there's at the railway station is pizza and kebab, I think, kind of stuff. So you can decide what you want to do. And in the evening, we're gonna all have dinner. For those of you that didn't read my information sheet, we're gonna all have dinner together. So just that you guys know. So I think I'm gonna give you a word now.
Thank you. Thank you, Simona. Still on record?
Yes, I am. Just want to double check. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much for putting this together. You are a help in this administration stuff, which is amazing to me. I wouldn't be able and capable to do that. Really not. So this is a lot of effort behind the scenes we most don't even see. And it's simply thank you very much for doing what you are doing for us. So, oh, I should say something, so let me think. So let's start with an accident. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I had the glorious idea to import electronics from China. So I was sourcing stuff, I was traveling to Hong Kong, then they told me I should go to Shenzhen, that is the place to be for electronics, so I went numerous times to Shenzhen, then I learned the insider stuff there, because when you just arrive as a European, no one is waiting for you. And that also happened by an accident, because my scout, which I hired from here, was a Chinese guy, and he said that we Europeans and Americans never really can get to the top-notch electronic manufacturers in China, because this is simply like insider, and you need big quantities and big names you have to have already, and as a small guy not. But that he knows a guy who knows a guy, and so on. So he introduced me to a guy, and he was very proud of his table tennis ping pong skills, which in China is sport number 1, even before soccer. And so we talked a little, and he said, yeah, I can show you this and this was so good. And I said, look, do you want to play a little? So we play ping pong together. And I said, so yeah, but for what? I said, okay, listen, if I beat you, you introduce me to your top manufacturers you know in the mainland, not in Shenzhen, because that's where they are. But only if I beat you. And if you beat me, I pay you $5,000. Let's do it! Great! So he organized it. Little did he know that I was, as a young man in the Swiss national team, I played 16 years every day. And so he thought he's the best under the sun, and very cocky. You have never seen a beaten guy like this after the match. He was chasing the balls left and right. He did not know what happened to him. He thought he's in a completely different universe. That opened me the door to this main manufacturers that produce the stuff that they sell in Hong Kong on these big, they have fairs and electronic gatherings. So all this stuff that you see there, usually non-branded, but they can put your brand on, they basically get from the main manufacturers in the mainlands. So I had contact with those now, right? And he kept his word, so we met at the factory. I have many pictures where I am with all these masks and so many chips were produced and all that, right? So I was starting to import computers under probably $1,000, something that you can easily sell on Ricardo. At this time, that was 2017, and this were like the newcomer mini computers, like a computer that big, which has everything like the big machines called NUCs, next unit of computing. And the business was not so bad, but it was also not so great. I mean, I made a couple bucks, but you had a lot of hassle, import, customs, putting it together, bringing it to the platform, talking to the customer, sending the package, and so on. So long story short, when I was doing that for probably 2 years, in 2018 September, I received a batch from one of the big manufacturers that sent me 100 mini computers, and they had no system on them, because usually they came with the system fully loaded. I could simply just check it and sell it. So it was black. So I had to create a bootable stick and so on, as we know. I did so, and they gave me a list of keys that I can use to activate them to basically get the Windows going, right? One of these computers had the system on it, because that was the machine they tested before they sent them to me. So 99 keys I needed to activate myself, but one had one. So I had one key left. I said, what do I do with this? And then I went to Ricardo, where I usually went to sell my machines, which I had no website or so. And I saw that Windows keys are being sold as keys, which was totally new for me. I'm not an IT guy, right? I have no clue about computers, IT, but this was just for me merchandise, buy it, sell it, right? Easy deal. So I saw that these Windows, it was a Windows Home OEM key, went for like 20 bucks on Ricardo. I said, okay, why not? So I sell my computers and I sell the key for 20 as extra. 3 minutes, that key was sold for $19.90. I said, wow, this is so cool. No package, no installation, no hassle, no import, no customs, no 100 computers pre-financing, nothing. And I make more than when I sell this damn computer. Because at the end, I had not 20 bucks on that computer. I had it on this key. So that was the accident, because I hadn't planned this. It just sort of fell to me, or I stumbled upon it. That was the introduction to the second stumble upon I did in my life, which I think is going forward very important. 2 years ago, I wanted to do a sort of an animal shelter. Not for live animals, but to support animals. So I mean to support shelters, to support programs that deal with castration of animals so that they don't multiply themselves and end up in shelters. And I was introduced to a lovely lady, which is very smart, has very high degree in the community. Her name is Jasmine. And when I met Jasmine, I talked about my vision, and she said we can do this or that, and she would like to be probably a part of the project. And then she said, but let me introduce you to my ex-husband. He did some programming for animal shelters and has some sort of a custom-made program we could probably use, probably not, but let's just meet, because he has a lot of knowledge in this type of field, right? So I said, sure, always good to have fresh ideas and meet people who have done something, which again, for me, it was like something I had never done before. So we met this person sits here, that's Gregor. And so we talked about animals here and dogs there and the program here, and he showed me it was all nice and beautiful. And then when he offered coffee, we just had a little small talk. So I was asking, what are you doing for a living? Because that wasn't something that he was doing for a living. And he said he's doing Magento shop creation optimization for companies. I said, okay, then scratch. So we somehow ended this animal thing quickly. And in this meeting, poor Jasmine, I'm still sorry, we already talked about Keys Express. I showed him the site and so on. So that was the second accident that just happened, or I mean, this is not by accident. This all has a mean to happen, but this is how I met Gregor. And so I stumbled upon the company, or upon the business, and I stumbled upon the person who can bring us to the next chapter, if you want, because I did it for the last 6-7 years, very old school. I mean, you can say I'm old school, right? So I hate chats. I'm old school. So we do that the way I would do it, like I did 30 years back my business, contacting customers, sending him free samples, talking to them. But this is very difficult to do, it costs a lot of time, and the approach is not the right anymore. I have seen, we have still tried many of these things, and there is no grip anymore. 7 years ago it worked, but now not. So I was thinking, what we do, right? And before I could even think what we do, here was the solution. Maybe you have seen that every time you open the shop, there is a little change in the shop, right? I look for things I knew they were there and are not, but then I found other things I have never even thought they are there, right? So Gregor is helping us to completely rehaul the shop, to redo the whole how we are seen in the market, because that's, I think, the only way to go forward, that the people find us in the market by themselves, right? I mean, sure, we still do activities, a little here, talk to customers, customer talks to any friend. So this is all good. Bouche à l'oreille is fine. But that is not the masses. You don't get the new customers in the door when you are not seen in the market. And when Gregor looked at what we had, which I thought wasn't so bad, politely he said something about, yes, you could do it that way, but let me show you a different way. Okay? So, about this different way, what he is coming to present you now, why he's doing what he's doing, why he's so important to us, and why we need a total new vision on the things, is basically why Gregor exists for us. And I'm so glad that he's here with us and not with a competitor of us. So, from the animal shelter to Keys Express, and I think I give you the word. You can introduce yourself, and then also, I mean, when you showed me your presentation, I was blown away. I mean, I did understand it a little, so I know what you were talking about, and every point you made and every argument I felt is so true, right? So we just have to bring it, the power to the asphalt to get there, right? So we need someone who can really do it on a technical level, on the knowledge level, how to do and be on top of everything, on a marketing level, on the SEO level, on a God knows artificial intelligence level, everything. This is now such a monster, right? It had started smaller. I mean, I knew about SEO 5 years ago. And that was that, right? You do a little SEO, you get found because of keyword search. It's all gone. It's all gone. It doesn't exist anymore. So it changes quickly. And if you don't have a person in your company or team who changes the pace as quickly as the market does and also implements the things, you lose. Simply you lose. As Gregor said rightfully, these days it's not about gaining more traction or gaining more customers or sales on the site, it's to keep it, what you have, because everyone by default is losing now. So how do you do it that you keep at least what you have, and maybe you grow a little if that's possible, right? But you need to have the top per mil knowledge of the top guys, because everyone has some guy who knows and tries, and AI is doing fully automated shops and stuff. I don't understand this world anymore, but that's why it's so important to give the button to someone who does. Right? So Gregory works for us as a freelancer. He has his own company. He has other customers. No one in our business, which is good. And so I hope this stays like that. And we are very thankful that he came today to present. And let's hear it.
Thanks a lot. Stop the YouTube
the video and start it again, so we have some little sections and not one super big.
In the meantime,